Hey everybody, welcome back. Everybody out there under the sound of my voice, welcome. Playing this anime game here tonight. So sorry about last week. It was a shame. I hated to cancel, but I just couldn't get anything together in that short of notice. So I did. And if you guys are upset about that, well, I'm sorry. Just have to deal with it. So anyway, I got this game, Scarlet Nexus. I know very little about this game, so I know this is Bandai Namco published. So I saw this right after it came out. I saw Bandai Namco's official Facebook talking about this. Went and looked it up. I was like, oh, that actually sounds kind of interesting. So I bought the game, downloaded it, played it for 30 minutes, and then never touched it again until now. So I'm just going to go into it blind. I'm not going to refresh myself. We're just going to see what happens. Maybe I'll... It's a modern game, so how hard can it be, right? It's not normally the kind of thing I'm used to playing, but what I did play of it was pretty good. Let's see, this is the newer save, so... The combat was interesting. It looked like it had at least some depth to it, without being necessarily like Dark Souls level or anything, but we'll see. I know there's two playable characters, like you can redo the game as a different character for a different spin on the plot. So that's one thing that drew me to it. I really like games with multiple playable characters to experience the story from. I'm gonna check and make sure that everything looks good. Yeah, those are my meme shades for memeing on people. Yeah, I think we're looking good there. Like $2 on Amazon. Okay, as best I remember, we're part of like some security force, and we're supposed to defeat the people, the bad people. I don't know who they are or what they are. See if I can get a hang on this. We gotta jump. Obviously, we can't attack right now. Alright. And I know that some free DLC hit for this game too, so I've really got to try to figure out everything. Oh, it's Final Fantasy X all over again. Great. I tend to like quick recovery options, so I'm going to learn that rebound skill, despite not knowing anything about the game yet. Let's see. Yudo formally enlists in the OSF, is assigned to Seto Kaiba platoon, commandeered by the Septentrion Seto Kaiba Narukami Yu. He joins with his childhood friend Chie Ichijo and heads to Kikuchiba for their first mission and field training. See, I needed instructions. Oh yeah, so I've got to completely go to a different area. It seems like there was some kind of taxi system, but I don't remember. I'm way behind the curve on this one. Oh, apparently, you see, this is why it pays to not play games on release, because you get all this free DLC that's probably useless, but it's more than I had when I started the game, so. Oh yeah, look at all this. Oh yeah, 7 attack. Wow. Got some very oh, that's kind of cool. We'll go with that one. It looks like I have to unlock those slots. Oh, they've started selling visuals too, because of course they have. And I believe these symbolize the different types of psycho powers you get in the game, but I don't know enough about any of them to make any kind of decision about which one I would like to represent. Alright, maybe we can actually figure out where to go now. Hope everybody's been doing good. I still got to do some more videos on KIT. That was a great experience. And I would definitely recommend going to a major if you get a chance. I've actually started writing up my guide to majors, so I hope to do that sometime this week. Okay, how do I get to where I want to go? We don't need the tomb grounds. This game does have a very Persona vibe about it, despite being like action oriented.
Are you friends with that Navi guy?
Yeah, I can't keep him away from me. He gets carried away, but he's a good guy. He treats me normally, even though he knows I'm a Sumeragi.
Oh, a Sumeragi, of course.
Good. I'm glad you have someone like
Oh yeah, thank goodness for that. Okay.
that.
Okay, yeah, here we go. We'll go to world map and oh, I got it. Okay. It's one of those subset menu selections where you have to pick the place you want to go and then you have to go to the place within the place to do the thing. Oh, this has got Wither in it. This must be a sequel to Minecraft. Alright, we have attacks again. Oh yeah, that was the system. You can like pick this stuff up and like sling it at enemies.
This isn't the right direction.
Don't tell me what to do.
So, we're all here. Captain Narukami, may I ask a question?
This is like anime character name central.
Call each other by our first names in the OSF so we can strengthen our bonds.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Ranks are there just to calculate pay.
The OSF only values strength. Remember that.
That's the gist of it. Right. Wataru is this platoon's operator.
My power allows me to communicate telepathically without the system's assistance. That being said,
There's a whole lot of Mary Sue going on in here. Well, I just met you guys. I don't think I need to be opening my personal port.
Team leaders will be Nagi, Yuito, and Sugumi. Each of you listen to Wataru's orders and move to the designated goal. Try to take down any others along the way. Retreat is allowed if you think you can't handle it, but reach your goal. That's all.
Understood. Okay. See you later.
Good luck.
Just remembered I need to share the stream with folks, because we are not yet at the luxury where we can afford to not share our stream and spam the stream itself every night that we present it. Where's Sunday Showdown? There it is. Yeah, I have no idea where that sword came from. I think it was one of the free ones that they gave as DLC.
But you can use brain talk to share information.
Let me hear your brain talk. SAS is a brain communication that lets you temporarily use allies' powers. You pressing right block plus BAY will activate the SAS. The sus entered into each slot. Power last time when it was to 0, it will stop. You can stop the effect yourself with right block plus right stick or right block plus power. Each power recovers at a different rate, but once it does, you can use it again. Oh my gosh.
Don't get burned!
It sprayed something like oil. Don't get it on you.
Connecting through SAS hurts and feels weird, but it really feels like they're fighting together.
Yeah, that's really cool that you can pick up and throw the stuff at enemies. I really like that. That's really neat. Like you can even pick up the cars and stuff and throw them. Say like we'll target, see if we can't. Did you see that sick quick dodge there? Learn to use certain skills will allow you to recover your psychokinesis gauge by pulling off a perfect dodge or follow up one with an attack. Okay, fantastic. Oh yeah. This is your traditional like weapons-based beat 'em up with like a quick dodge. We'll have this thing figured out in no time.
That's a big blaze.
Still better than Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Don't wander off.
Hey Ernest, how you been? Long time no see.
Understood. I'm good at reading the air.
I missed streaming last week, so I feel like I haven't streamed in like 6 years, but it's really only been like 2 weeks. But I haven't seen you around in a while. I thought maybe you finally hauled in the big one and retired. Enough fire damage will inflict burn status. Additional damage is taken until the status is removed. Well, thanks for that.
That awkward pause was my power too.
Oh, I have to water the flowers at headquarters.
Who cares, lady? Why are you telling me this?
The seeds we planted in those pots have sprouted.
This is some top-tier Japanese anime level dialogue we're getting here, guys.
Household should have a dependable Kagura. Looks like the enemy dropped something rare.
It's no Dark Souls, but it'll do. Still grinding. That's right. You got to live that grind. Kind of neglected the YouTube grind here the past few weeks, and my numbers have dropped. So I've got to A, get up here with the stream, and then B, I got to put out some video content. I went to a big fighting game tournament last weekend, so I posted a lot of like really quick, short videos. But I still got to post like the bona fide like meat and potatoes content that people come here for. How do I shot use item?
Here we go.
Oh. Did he already play the Frozen level? Where's Elsa? Yeah, sorry, we finished that level. We're on the Tangled level now, sorry. Hold down left trigger to consume the PK fire gauge and attack with special objects after hitting the enemy. Input the follow-up command shown on the screen to control the special object for additional attacks. Okay. Oh, there we go. So it's like a quick time event.
I had no idea you could use it like that. Your power is really great.
Because I'm an anime protagonist.
I guess I'm getting better. Thanks, Hanabi. You lit that one up.
Seizure warning.
Okay, battle's over. Looks like there's a resource nearby.
I'm all about mining those natural resources. Cannot hold anymore. Thanks a lot, dude. I may or may not have the entirety of the dialogue and plot from Frozen 1 and 2 memorized because of my two daughters. That's neither here nor there. Yeah, it is. I enjoyed it.
Incredible.
The city
I
is
just have never got any further than this because
It feels like I'm in a VR from a theme park I went to when I was a kid.
It used to serve as the connection base to Togetsu. The city infrastructure was destroyed.
I bought this game on kind of a weird day. You ever have one of those weird days, especially since COVID, where like
Togetsu is the stronghold of the Togetsu.
you're working from home and you have like something to do at 1?
Don't say that.
So it's like you don't really have time to do
He was even a priest at one.
anything, right? As you start working at 8, there's not really any time to do anything else because you've got this engagement you have to go to. So I think I picked the game up. It took an hour or two to download, maybe more.
Sorry.
And by the time I finally downloaded it, I had to go do whatever that thing was, and I just never picked it up again.
He became a priest. I don't care about the teachings at all. Now that Kikuchiba is like this, you hardly ever see people coming to Suo from the church anymore.
Should I be listening to that exposition?
What's that drone doing?
Damn, they found us even though we were jamming them. Crows, Captain. So they sniffed us out. Look alive, everyone.
Crows? The press.
Guys, the crows will make a big deal out of this. Let's make it exciting.
Let's not.
The city vision projectors must be broken. They're pretty, but kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out my speed tech there. Whoa. I think the meat and potatoes of the combat in this game is basically hitting enemies with like the objects in the environment and then tapping a button at the right time to follow up correctly. So that's going to be the, I think the high-end version of the combat in this. Which is an interesting mechanic. It's always so hard to convey like psycho powers like picking up stuff and throwing it. Because you have to strike this balance of making the player feel like they did something versus like it has to be feasible to control it. I want to know how to change targets. There we go.
What does a Togetsu priest do?
Oh, are you interested in me?
No, not at all. Just asking.
Rejected.
Playing hard to get, I see. All we do is spread the message. Souls return to the moon.
I think that was the plot of Final Fantasy VIII.
Like oil. Don't get it on you.
Let's keep this up.
Yeah, get away, he's gonna spray. You can lose your footing and become stable. To use B, it will be easier to become burned when attacked by fire during old status.
The oil is making me sluggish.
I've been using brain talk since I was a cadet, but it still makes me uneasy sometimes. I worry that someone might hear us not speaking.
That won't happen. It's not telepathy. I can't read other people's thoughts either. Don't worry.
Let me borrow this.
That's kind of neat.
That was close.
All teams, anything amiss? No, sir. Nagi team has nothing to report. Oh, that's good. You're on my team, though, so you didn't need to check in. What are you doing, Nagi?
Dang it, Nagi. You had one job, not to check in. I really like the little cut trails on the enemies. Like it adds to the impact and makes you feel like you actually hit them, which is nice.
Nagi, that's a restricted area. Get back here.
I couldn't last in this world. I would die trying to pet something.
It still doesn't make it okay.
If I see some of the stuff from this world, I'm not going to pet it, alright? That's on you.
Yes, sir.
That's the equivalent of that time that the monster was down in Parasite Eve and I ran over to check and make sure he was dead and got killed for it. You've watched the channel so long, you've become me. Good job. Yeah, check out the speed run here. If you hit frame perfect on this dash, it's 0.01 seconds faster than running normally. How about those save load times? I actually think the basic run may be faster.
Oh, Yuito's team is the first to the objective.
Nice going.
Nice going.
Hey. Do you hear something?
Good instinct. Captain, Sugumi,
Major others are others that have...
Captain.
it'll take a few minutes for the rest of the teams to arrive.
It's like, good luck, kid. Nice job.
Yuito, Hanabi, look over.
Hey, Jaime, there you are. I figured you were hiding somewhere. Hey, Efren Gale, how you doing?
I guess we've got no choice. Hanabi, let's go.
All right, I'm ready.
I mean, we're both Megaton Imagine players, so we can't really say too much. That game it's supposed to be anime, but Cave just couldn't be bothered to add more than like 6 hairstyles.
There's material hanging down. Yuto, use your psychokinesis to slam it down on its head.
Okay, got it.
Pull down this special object by sealing with left trigger. I need precise timing. I would assume I have to lure it towards me. Come on, dude. Oh, whatever. I dodged, rolled through that. Nice.
So, the other is covered in oil, so if you use my power, you can turn it into a big fireball. Don't get burned!
That's a big blaze.
Look, I'm defeating the others. John Locke would be so proud.
I can still fight. Is everyone okay?
Hey, Grand Wizard, how you doing? Good to have you. No, walk the other way.
Big oil is making me sluggish.
Everyone, get back! Let me borrow this.
Attack your enemy's weak point for massive damage.
Keep your eyes open. You especially, Yumito. Your power lets you use the things around you. Don't focus only on the enemy in front of you. Yes, sir.
This is Devil May Cry with less style and more RPG mechanics. That's a good way to describe it, I think. The psychokinetic powers are a really nice touch, though. That's probably my favorite thing about it. Falling for that old trick. So, Fringle, you wanted to know about KIT. It was pretty awesome. Like, if you get a chance to go to a major, go. It was super valuable in that I just thought I knew what high-level competitive play looked like. But going there and, like, seeing not even the tournament matches, but just, like, all of it and the casuals, I have a much better picture of, like, what it takes to be successful at top-level Tekken. I'm not saying I'm there or I'll ever get there, but now I kind of understand better. And that was probably the most valuable thing for me, was to be able to see that. And one of the things I found really encouraging was that, you know, some dark horses came in there and won that tournament. Like Cuddlecore went into loser's bracket fairly soon, playing against an Eddie Gordo player, a guy that no knock against him, but I had not heard of. So no, you know, props to him. And then Poke Shop even got put out by another excellent player. And so that was really cool. just to know that like these crazy good players that we kind of view as like untouchable, kind of like it's almost like being Krillin and trying to fight Cell. You just feel like you have no chance. But even people like that can be caught off guard if they don't, pay attention and have the character knowledge and the matchup knowledge. So seeing that, I suddenly became a lot easier on myself about not being really good at Tekken, because I'm like, it's just such a deep and complicated game that even a monkey falls from a tree and even a dog has its day. So that was really cool. I mean, yeah, Tien just sat there and like triangle beamed that man into the ground. So yeah. It is really strange walking into your first major and then seeing those people that you've only like watched on stream for so long, like seeing them in person. Like I remember when we first came in, so all my buddies in the local FGC, they were there earlier than me because I still had to work. So basically what I did was I got up pretty early. I drove down there, got to the hotel, logged in and worked until like 5:30 or 6. And then I went over there. And so when I came in the convention center, all my buddies were down there playing. They had like 2 tables set up like this that were just all for Tekken casuals on the first day. And so they were all down there playing matches with just randos, and it was so cool. It reminded me of the arcade, just like everybody just sitting around like just looking for matches because they love the game, not even a tournament. And I remember there was this lady who had on like headphones and a cap and like a big thick mask, because if you were playing games you had to wear a mask, and then like a jacket. And I was like, oh, I wonder who that is. They're like really bundled up. So anyway, I find 16-bit Bump, and he's like, I was like, hey, what's up? How's it going and everything? You've been playing some matches, yeah. He's like, yeah, I want to get a match with Cuddlecore, but everybody wants to play her. And then I realized the girl dressed up like a ninja, that was Cuddlecore. She is very tiny in real life. I hope she wouldn't mind me saying, but she's so like tiny. I didn't realize it was her because she was like fully like wrapped up.
Could be. They don't know when to quit.
And then the next thing I saw was Pokechop walking around with he has like a rubber shield that he had made that has no round brown on it. And he was walking around hawking t-shirts. That was really funny. But every bit of the personality from him that you see on like matches and tournament footage, he's really like that. They don't exaggerate at all. And there's a lot of people that employ that kind of poke chop, like get in your opponent's head type strategy. I didn't realize how prevalent that was until I went to a major. And I guess it's because arcades have been dead for years, and then COVID just kind of knocked out in-person Tekken for so long that's an aspect that's been kind of lost. Like most people don't get on Steam and like just like send voice. Some people do, but most decent players don't send like hate messages and stuff or try to get in the opponent's head, other than like teabagging or key charging or all that. So
do whatever you want.
Love you, Captain.
Essentially, yeah, that's what you do. So Sunday. So Pokechop, he got put out Saturday. Just had a bad set of matches and got put out Saturday. I forget who the guy that put him out was using. I can't remember. Really, really strong player put him out. And so Sunday I came back. I ended up not staying for finals because everybody else left, and I just didn't want to be by myself and looking at like a 4+ hour drive home. So I just left. But Sunday I did come and watch a few casuals and play some of the arcade games. And Pokeshop was like money matching some guy, and they got into an argument about which matches counted, and it was hilarious. I may upload the footage later, but several people filmed it, and he was just going on a rant, and the other guy was getting frustrated. It was a lot of fun. I was like, the FGC is back. It's just back.
I didn't just say that for the press. You two really did a great job.
I wasn't watching the cutscene. I assume I didn't miss anything important.
Looks like there's a resource nearby.
there's a lot of trash talk that goes on, like even if it's not your match. And the really cool thing was seeing all the local FGCs like cheer for people in their region. Like, I don't know what name Dylan used in the tournament. I don't remember, but he did an excellent job. Got to play on stream. And so, you know, our group was all there cheering him on. And Bump won some of his matches. We were all cheering him on. And people like were cheering on their local, like Cuddles group was there cheering her on. And there was a lot of ATL people cheering on Porkchop. So it was just fun. It was like the FGC is back. It's still here. Online didn't kill it. The spirit is still there. And it was really heartwarming. As much as my cold, dead fighting game heart can be warmed, it was. I went 1-2 in the tournament, in case anybody's wondering. So, opening match, I played against I think he's a pro player named Mick Jump. I think he's from ATL. Really solid Eliza player. Don't know a thing about Eliza. Couldn't do much against him. He beat me pretty good. And then next match, I got paired up with our very own Briefcase and managed to put him out. Unfortunately, I hated to do a team kill, but you gotta fight. And the whole time, and this is something I'm going to talk about in my video about Kit that I learned, was that pro players have the ability to download. And like, you think you can download, but to be at that next level, you really got to be able to download. Because like the guy that put me out was a very solid Julia player named Vandy. Vanderbilt fan, unfortunately for him. And he basically followed me. Like, he watched every match I had of the like 2 or 3 I had and figured out what I was doing. And by the time he played me, he knew exactly when I would go for lows. He knew exactly when to block. He knew exactly what my mix-ups were. He just downloaded me by watching. And so I forget how far he made it. He did very well. As did Mick Jump. He did very well. So congrats to those guys. But
Have we met somewhere?
the ability to download is something I'm going to try to, I don't know what you would call it, cultivate, I guess.
Not that.
I think there is this
So,
intermediate mindset in Tekken where you're finally learning some of the moves and you're kind of learning some of the other players' moves that you just kind of fall into this, okay, I'm going to just go and play Tekken. Here are the moves. Here are the opponent's moves. I'm just going to kind of try to go and play Tekken with that. But I think that next level is learning to read the opponent and how they will use those tools. And the quicker you can figure that other person out, the better.
weird as well.
Because unfortunately, I think I'm a fairly predictable player, as I've learned, so I need to mix it up.
Bros are after you.
I've been playing a different character besides Lee. Still going to use Lee. I picked up another that I'm using. And I've really tried to dive into the mind game of this character as far as like, use this string, leave this off, see how they react. Next time, do this. And you basically, I don't know, opening up opponents has been a struggle of mine. And I think a lot of that comes from being an old school Lee player. But I didn't really learn Lee with the mindset that is needed to be competitive. Like, I just kind of brought Lee along, and as I got better at Tekken, he kept being my character. But my newer characters I've picked up kind of with a more competitive mindset. And so I've done a lot better with them, I think. So we'll see. Yeah, Cuddle is a crazy good player, and she made an insane comeback against this Jack player, and like the whole room was on its feet. Well, not the whole room, but a lot of it was on its feet during that match, because like that guy just beat her up and down, and it was like the last round, and she just fought her way completely back and won the set to stay alive. Now, you know, she got put out later, but in that instance, she just refused to go down. And it's like, what a competitor, what a fighter. I probably would have just given up and accepted it. And she was like, no, I'm going to come back and win this. But yeah, that's a point. Like, I guess TV makes people look bigger, right? Because the proportions are all strange and you're seeing them on this tiny window. But, you know, Cuddlecore, she is really tiny. Like, her arms, like, I'm a pretty narrow guy myself, and her arms are, like, really tiny. Porkchop looked kind of big, though, because he has the big shield he walks around with.
You can't just say you're taking a detour and go straight home by yourself. Kaguro is always like that.
Dadgummit Kaguro.
No, you're the serious one.
You talking about as far as... Yeah, I did. I really haven't messed around with Cooney much since I got back from Kit, but the very first guy that I played in casuals when I got there was a guy who was a Cooney player. And so like I don't really use Cooney at locals anymore because Briefcase and 16-bit Bump, they do a pretty good job of shutting down my Cooney because, again, I've got to develop those mix-ups and those mind games. And they've kind of figured them out because used to, I would show up to locals and just like destroy them with Kunimitsu. And so the two of them got together and was like, we're going to lab this out and we're going to stop all this nonsense. And they did, you know, to their credit. So the thing about Cooney, her weakness is supposed to be her bad lows, like down forward 3, launch punishable. Her set 3, launch punishable, 0 on hit, that kind of stuff. But the Cooney player I played, he was whipping Briefcase. He got a few on him, but he was beating him for the most part. And I played him with my Lee, and he was beating me. I won a few sets, but he beat me for the most part. And he was using those lows, and I was like, those lows are bad. I thought we weren't supposed to use those lows. But the key was spacing. He was so good at spacing those lows. And so I'm like, I can't wait to get in the lab and try that out and kind of mess around with those lows again, but space them so that they're harder to punish. And it's so simple, but you just would never, I don't know, a noob like me would never think to do that. Super impressive Cooney player. I wish I'd gotten that guy's gamer tag. I did get 1 or 2 gamer tags while I was there. There were some really cool people there. And if any of you guys are watching, shout outs. You guys need to check out 4 Horsemen Gaming or 4 Horsemen FGC as well. So me and Case were playing some X-Men Coda casuals because they had a working Coda cabinet. And we were playing some casuals on that. We love Coda. Children of the Atom, so Marvel Fighter. And this guy walked up and was like, hey, can I hop in there? And that was some fun sets. And being an Omega Red main for the past 20 years paid off because I did fairly well. That guy had an insane Colossus. And it was just so neat to, like, you know, be at this event where somebody could walk up and challenge you in this 25-year-old fighting game and be competent at it. That was amazing.
Yuito, be careful. It must be bad if Arashi is asking for help.
You're backing me up.
Yeah, if that's right. Yoshimitsu's kind of in that same boat. And I think where I was lacking the usage is the spacing. Because that guy, he would space the stuff so good that you would either fall for it or find it very difficult to punish. So I've got to experiment with that. Oh, the Mizu Hagawa district, of course. Excellent.
Yeah, sorry about everything. Like Nagi.
Seriously, make it back in one piece, alright?
I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm sitting here reminiscing about 2 weeks ago. I guess it was just 1 week ago, actually. Yeah, super solid experience. Can't wait to do my going to your first major tutorial. That's going to be fun. I can give you guys some sneak previews, though. For one thing, make plans for food, right? Food on site is extremely expensive. It was like $10 for 2 very mediocre slices of pizza. I don't drink, but they did have alcohol, which was insanely expensive. They had regular drinks, which were insanely expensive. Am I even going the right way? Yes, I need to go world mapping. So make a food plan. So like me and the local FGC basically all chipped in and got like 3 full pizzas for like half the price of what it would have cost to feed everyone there. And we just kind of did like okay, everybody grab 1 or 2 slices. And, you know, after everybody's eat, it's a free-for-all kind of thing. And that worked really well. We went to the hotel that Kit recommends is actually really close to like a Chick-fil-A and an Outback Steakhouse and a few other places. You can also get gas without getting back on the main highway, so that's nice. I definitely would recommend the Hampton Inn and Suites. It was kind of dingy. My room was kind of but the location, as far as being close to everything, was perfect. Could not have asked for a better location. You over in Atlanta in the hyperbolic time chamber there, man? You ought to go try to find Poke Chops where he plays and go play some matches over there.
Yuito, I sent you the location data for the distress signal. Confirmed?
Attack that destroys the enemy's weak point. Attack is kind of a weird word to begin a sentence with, right? Shouldn't that be an attack? But whatever. Attack that destroys an enemy's weak point and defeats it in one hit. A brain crush. Chip down the enemy's crush gauge located below its health gauge and an icon will appear. When it does, press left trigger to execute a brain crush. Crush gauge can be reduced greatly with follow-up attacks and psychokinesis attacks. However, quick action is required as the enemy recovers over time. Additionally, disabled enemies with depleted crush gauge can only be defeated with Brain Crush. Defeating them with Brain Crush will always make them drop items. And since it's not SMT, imagine they might actually drop the item. You're throwing a lot of mechanics at me here, game. Like, I don't even know how far into the game I am, but I'm still getting mechanics. That was pretty cool, right?
If I aim carefully, I'll be able to make the mission easier.
Yeah, if you are a big sound player, bring in headphones. And that's what Colorcore was doing. And so she's a pro. So if you want to be with the best, bring in. And that goes for casuals or your tournament match, because you're not going to be able to hear a thing. And a lot of those stations don't even have speakers set up because they're using like monitors instead of TVs. So definitely bring in like some headphones and like a splitter if you want to use, sound cues, which you should.
Hey, Wataru, what's it like there?
I do know that a long time ago I watched a video from Eris and he was talking about going to a tournament, and he said that you shouldn't even really expect to win one match. And that's one of those things that I always talk about in church. Like, there's the actual understanding, and then there's the Sunday school answer understanding. And that's something that I got like the actual understanding of when I actually went to a major. It's kind of like when you graduate high school, the top of your class at your backwoods high school, and you go to like college and you think you're going to be the cock of the walk, and then you realize that everyone there is the cock of the walk at their high school or wherever they came from too. So you're just like another fish in the pond, so to speak. It's like that, but everyone, if you've never been, is probably better than you are. Because anybody that's going to go to an event like that cares about Tekken, and they care about being better, and they care about winning. So just be prepared for that. I'm so glad I took even one match, even if it was off case. Because when you get there and you're in that tournament, and like those nerves kick in, it's a whole different ball game. Like I said, I met so many like cool players that were super good at the game and just like down to earth, chill people who were willing to sit there and run a long set with you, even if they were beating you the whole time. So that was really neat. I wish I could remember the name of that one guy that hung out with us for the first 2 days. He was a local player in the Nashville area. Can't think of his name. Super nice guy. Got his PSN, so I'm going to hopefully hook up for some games with him at some point. Some others have a hard shell that protects their weak points. If you come across an other like this, you'll have to break its shell to reveal its weak point in order to defeat it. Attacking their weak points will greatly reduce their crush gauge. Oh, well, just keep attacking is the secret. Okay, great.
This is nothing. Come on.
Thanks, I'll take it.
This game it reminds me of Dark Souls and how you can't really cancel out of an attack into a dodge. But it doesn't quite nail the precision like Dark Souls does. Not to the point where it makes the game unenjoyable, but it is noticeable. Unless you do the quick dodge. There we go. I have no idea why I'm soloing this area without the team. I have no idea what's going on in the story. We gonna die.
Come on. Here we go.
Hey, it's the charging bull attack from CV64.
This is bad.
Yeah, get that time dodge, son.
I'm going to get stronger.
Well, that would be great if you ever logged into PSN. Me and Ike trying to get you to play. All right, look, real talk. I play on PC. That's my main like gaming station these days. And it's really hard to justify keeping a PSN subscription. I hate to be that PC player guy, but it's really hard to justify having that $10 a month on PlayStation for a system I never play these days unless I want to play like Bloodborne or something.
There's a resource nearby.
It's nothing personnel, kid. And yeah, I acknowledge it will be hard to play those guys, but yeah, I mean, I can pass it along if you want. And yes, there are regular NPCs. They're just only in the
middle of something.
town areas.
Of course. At your service.
You don't need to be so formal. Age and rank don't mean much here.
That voice does not match that face.
Oh, okay.
Good answer.
Affirmative. Arashi, can you use your hypervelocity to get behind the target?
Do I get hazard pay?
Arashi. That's like Japanese for mysterious, I believe.
Fine, I'll help. You two handle the front while I take the back.
Man, I just killed that thing. I could kill that thing again. Did Ick buy you PSN just so he could play you? What a cool dude. Maybe he could buy me PSN too, and then it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, heck yeah, I'll play some PSN if you guys want.
I'm gonna give it my all. That's it.
What's with that drone? It totally gave us away to the others.
Well, what a cool dude then.
It happens. The crows have a right to use their drones to broadcast.
Even in the anime world, the media is still trash. How about that?
You guys promise to back up my story later.
What? For real?
For real?
Arashi, you're going to be reprimanded.
So get your story straight.
Genma's voice sounds familiar. He reminds me of Piccolo.
You can drop any crows.
Okay. Don't say I didn't warn you.
SAS velocity. While borrowing hypervelocity, you can move at a pace that makes it feel as if time slowed down. Use it when confronting fast enemies or those you want to finish off quickly. Additional effects will be added as you strengthen your bond with Mysterious. Okay. An other appeared. I'm convinced like the first 3 hours of this game is just tutorials.
Sacrifice be in vain. But you're the one who knocked it down.
Hey, I just answered Yuito's request.
Take it easy.
What?
Check it out. I'm going to use my super move. Yeah, let me get right on that. Girl's not blue. I can't even produce videos in a reasonable amount of time, much less redub a game.
I should charge you.
I should redub something, though. That would be fun.
Meet you. I thought Arashi told you not to be so formal. Just call me Gil.
You look so old.
I can hit it.
He said, I can hit it.
He's acting like that.
Well, I am older, but even so, don't worry about it.
By borrowing sclerokinesis, that's a skin disease, I think. You harden your entire body and render enemy attacks ineffective. The effective time shortens with the number of attacks. Use it when there are no means to escape the enemy's attack. Additional effects will be added as you strengthen your bond with Genma. Look, I got a lot of people I got to strengthen my bond with, okay? This isn't working.
Time to use this.
Yeah, you like that? Look at me just tanking that damage.
The outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks.
We have to triangulate our fire to defeat Borg Slayer. I mean, if it's just going to stand there.
I need you, Gemma.
I need you. I like the firepower better. It was a lot more fun. The speed power just seems like something that's going to be necessary to hit certain enemies, rather than like a fun like combo builder.
That was way too much work.
There's no reason to fight.
Now,
Ain't got a reason? Well, I do.
The crow's drones. Intentionally
Ghost Hunter General Lawrence Fumble-Schmidt.
regulation.
That's a mouthful.
We mistook it for another and destroyed it.
Talent is a strong word, actually.
got it?
Yes, it was an unfortunate accident.
Hey, don't worry about it.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
We did what we had to. Now let's get back to Suo.
Yes.
There's no telling how much freaking money went into making this game, and they went with the still cutscenes.
Your leg. You.
Oh, you're right. This isn't good.
I'm fine.
If you're limping, you must be in pain.
No, it's dangerous.
I know a place. My family has a unit around here we use as an emergency we should be
That's great.
Copy that.
Okay, you're right. That
If
is
this is going to be a surgery tutorial, I swear I'm quitting this game.
I'm fine.
I just want to hack and slash stuff and throw stuff at it with my brain. Why can't you let me do that? With my very old Mainstays brand mug here. Dishwasher and microwavable safe.
So this is the Sumeragi family.
You think so?
I know. We should tell Seto about. It's like a little hideout.
What's a safe house?
So is this the place where I have to go to
It's like
construct
an
tools?
evacuation site each team has.
OSF refers to them as hideouts.
Oh, that's right.
But you're not going to see it because they didn't want to have to redo the model with him with his pants leg off.
Stop trying to tough everything out.
I wasn't doing it intentionally. I just.
Yeah.
I had health problems as a kid, so I have a lot of experience.
Whoa, TMI, kid.
I'm sure your parents.
Yeah. You know who my father is. We had a maid at home.
It's good to be independent.
Yeah, you could learn to do a few more.
Major General Fubu.
I thought it was common knowledge.
What?
The other way around. You keep-
Arashi
Because
would
anime
rival
and
equals
ages mean
to
nothing.
us If she stopped slacking off.
How rude, Gemma. What do you say we rest? Even if we go back to Suo, all that's waiting for us.
Hello, everyone. Aren't you the daughter of the Ichijo OSF hospital chairman? Captain Arashi Spring?
Call me Arashi, please. Every year.
I'm sorry. The hospital is run by my uncle, who's the head of...
I see.
Hanabi.
Yes, I brought medication and...
A lot of them were past their expiration date. Oh, don't worry, Gemma.
We're childhood friends.
Not surprising, the Ichijo. Well, you've come all this way.
There's a whole lot of exposition being thrown at me here. I don't know how I feel about it. Yuito story standby phase 1. So I assume something happens with the other character there that I would have to be playing as to do something there. Oh boy, social link elements. The interval in between the main story is called the standby phase. Standby phases always start at the hideout, and you are free to move. If you want to progress the main story, check out the table in the center of the hideout's living room. Of course. I like Pikmin. Pikmin's fun. You can choose battle members besides the main character, reserve members, blah blah blah. Fantastic.
Arashi looks so different from the way they present her on TV.
She's always lazy when she's not on camera, so a lot of people call her Lazy Ara.
That suits her perfectly.
A Bond episode. Man, I love 007. Let's go.
Yuito, wanna talk? I mean, we're on the same team now.
Wait a minute, this isn't James Bond.
What do you want to talk
What the frick?
about? We've known each other since we were kids.
I wanted guns and explosions.
You know, we didn't see much,
Catch up?
right?
How about some mustard? My Tekken suffered greatly from taking a break, though.
I haven't been on a relaxing walk like
Yeah, I'm on a semi-break / not break after Kit. I think some of the other guys are taking some time to play like Melty Blood and some stuff like that.
So, what were you doing?
well, during my time.
Me too.
Yeah,
This is pointless.
they're both doing great. I found myself ignoring their calls for.
It's only been 2 years.
Yeah,
And see, this is the kind of stuff that young Trent would have eaten up. But
it's nothing.
as you find yourself older, you have a job, and so like you have money for video games, but you have no time. So a lot of times I just want them to get to the point. Whereas when I was younger, I was all about the story and the exposition and learning every single thing.
I wanted to ask you something, and it seems.
It did? Well,
What do you mean by that?
I don't know how to put it.
You can't?
Now, dadgummit, obviously this girl likes you, kid. Don't blow this.
When I was a kid. I'll never forget that face.
Oh, so it's just because.
Yeah, that's right. The reason why she's the
We're what?
ideal image.
An hour into this, and we've already crossed every anime trope off the list. Childhood best friend who secretly likes you but doesn't let on.
But I guess that's fine.
No, this is definitely James Bond. It's Sean Connery Bond. He's just that good of an actor.
It's okay. It's not a big.
Come on, Harabi. We have to defeat the others.
You're really amazing.
No.
That's not.
Oh my gosh. Will you two just get married already and cut it out?
It's not that.
That's so like you.
Alright, this is like painful.
What? No.
It is very anime, isn't it? And this comes from a guy who hasn't watched anime since like 2006.
Wait. Much better.
So, my tolerance to anime BS has gotten like very low.
Hideout?
The last anime I finished was probably
Yeah. I'm really glad we got to talk like this again.
Big O or Paranoia Agent, like Toonami circa 2005.
You want to talk again like this sometime?
That sounds.
Okay.
I won't.
I definitely.
I never met anybody who watched Paranoia Agent. Like, nobody remembers that show at all.
I feel recharged.
I used to watch that. Big O was really good. I really wish there'd been a season 3 of Big O. I watched Full Metal Alchemist when it was on, but
Really?
at that point, Cartoon Network didn't have the whole series, so after a while it would just loop, so I never saw how it ended.
Haven't changed. Just.
Well, that was much easier than Persona. Right block, what's up? I'm literally standing right next to her. She sends me one of these brain text messages. Here, we'll reply. Standing right in front of her. Fantastic. What else we got? I can't underestimate. I believe you wouldn't tell. Little Slugger. Yeah, you remember. Oh gosh, this old trope. I think this is just the entire plot of subplot of Legend of Dragoon. I'm somewhat of a completionist. I hate to miss optional content, so I know you can miss some of these text here if you don't reply on time. All of this, we're still in phase 1. It's okay, we're going to make it. Oh, I got a bunch of points. Okay, great. We definitely need some more attack power. I feel like our attacks take a little bit too much to damage enemies. I mean, we'll do that too, because we run out of psychokinesis power pretty easy, so we'll go ahead and... I don't know if this is a build kind of game, or if this is a unlock all the abilities by the end of it kind of game, so we'll just go with more attack. That's always useful.
A lot was going on.
Oh, I don't get to do a persona date with her? What a shame. My vision is augmented. The music in this can't decide if it wants to be Persona or something else, but it's trying its hardest, man. It's like going after it. I'm not a big anime guy, and I enjoyed Big O. That was a good show. Yeah, it was a good show. It was like Robot Fighter Batman. I think that's why I enjoyed it. It almost had a slightly Western noir feel to it. It wasn't a whole lot of like cutesy anime tropes and that kind of stuff. It was just a very like action oriented, and it had kind of like a mysterious like vibe. You never really figure out exactly what's going on. So I really enjoyed Big O. It was a good show, anime or not.
A message from Kasane?
But yeah, I'm not an anime guy either. Like, if you had asked, you know, high school, young college age Trent, he probably would have said he was an anime guy. But as I think back on it, I really never watched anything besides like the generic Toonami offerings. And then I have a cousin who was really big into anime, and she loaned me like a few DVDs when we were in college together that I watched. But other than that, yeah, just not a huge anime guy.
A call from Kasane? Sorry to keep you waiting.
Kept you waiting,
Well,
huh?
straight to the point.
I figured.
Is there anyone you...
What?
What's your type? Are you interested in taking over Randall and his...
She's
Wait,
forward, I'll give her that.
What
I'm running a background check.
is that?
Not just that. Captain Seto seems to have dropped his fountain pen around here somewhere.
A fetch quest, really?
To you anyway, so I...
His fountain pen? How come you're look?
So even...
What?
Don't look at me like that.
This game is all over the place. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, ain't that the truth, F? It's just the tropiness of it all. It's like nothing's like a show throwing you a good curveball, right? But you can't overdo curveballs. Like, I feel like for a while, Western, like American TV, decided that killing off main characters, regardless of how important they were, made the show good. Case in point, Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. And both of those shows have gone down hard. Like, I remember being really shocked at how they would just kill off main characters on Walking Dead like it was nothing. But I think the downside to that is after so many seasons, you aren't really willing to get invested anymore because the characters that you like are just going to end up dead. So it's like, what's the point? And Game of Thrones started to get that same problem towards the end.
Okay, use it.
I think the big thing now is cinematic universes because of all the success Marvel has had the past like 10 years with that. It's hard to believe that Iron Man 1 was the start of that, and I remember seeing that so long ago. Actually, I think it was like the Hulk and all that, but no one cares about the original Hulk movie. I don't even think it had Mark Ruffalo in it. Yeah, no one remembers the Hulk. Poor Hulk. Yeah, see, I'm several seasons behind on The Walking Dead, but I didn't know that Andrew Lincoln left and they killed off several characters that didn't die in the comics and that kind of stuff. My mom, of all people, is a huge Walking Dead fan. Like, she watches Walking Dead. She watches Fear the Walking Dead. She's probably watching that crappy series about, like, the world of tomorrow or whatever. She just can't get enough of all of it. So she kind of keeps me informed on what's going on. But I haven't watched the episode since, like, Beth was lost in the hospital that, like, the police and the patients had taken over or whatever. So, yeah, I'm several seasons behind. It's like a season or two after the governor died was some of the last stuff I saw. I did get to see that really gruesome scene in the church with Rick and the cannibals, and then the what was it, the machete with the red handle. And he's like, I made you a promise. And she like hacks that guy to pieces. Her power seems really OP if she just can use your psychokinesis gauge unlimited. That's crazy. She's probably going to die in a minute, and then I won't be able to use her again. It's like, here's a character with a really fun power. She's dead. Sorry.
Hey, I bet Captain Seto would be happy if we found the fountain pen.
Shut up.
Okay? Well,
There is no leak.
Conversation is non-existent.
And that show had a lot of really good supporting actors, but again, it's the same problem. I don't want to get invested in any of them because they'll probably just kill them off for shock value later on. Which, I get it. It's kind of the point of the show that life is fragile and, you know, this is a bad world where bad things happen. But I think when you kill off characters as like a staple of your show, it just becomes expected. And you're like, oh, well, whatever. It's a really tight line to walk. Really, really tight line to walk. Yeah, no one cares about the pen. Well, I mean, you get the point, right? Like, what is any fictional narrative but its characters? And so a series like Walking Dead, it's like, oh, this guy's cool. He's dead after one season. You never get to see where his story goes or anything like that. So,
She's really harsh.
I mean, I own a dog, and I know that eventually she will die and leave me heartbroken, of course. Completely different, because that's my personal life. That's not a fictional narrative.
When I was little, I was attacked by another and almost died. But then someone from the OSF saved me. And she looked just like you. So,
Like, just imagine if The Walking Dead, like, introduced a new cast every week, and by the end of the week, they were all dead.
I would have been one too.
Would it really be the same show? It would be like this weird, like, Monster of the Week slice of life type show.
An enemy. Get ready to fight.
okay.
I think that's just my point, is that life is valuable, and the day-to-day interactions and stories are so precious because we have a finite amount of them. And if we sit down and think about how few we have, it's even less than we think. So when I watch a fictional character, if just dying is the default state, then there's really no life of them to treasure, so to speak. But if you like Walking Dead, man, you just watch Walking Dead to your heart's content. And I like the show. It's still an okay show. I'm just very behind on it, and so I have no drive to pick it back up. I need to be using my special ability, because these guys attack too fast, so we'll just throw stuff at them. I used the tutorial for this 10 minutes of gameplay to defeat the enemies. All right. We'll have that fountain pen in no time.
Looks like we won.
Mystic Knight, been a while. How you doing? Welcome, welcome.
Isn't that Captain Seto's fountain pen behind
It would be an anthology show, and it actually sounds pretty good. I'd watch a season-long anthology show set in the same universe.
This is it? Thanks. You were a big help.
Now, my question is, what kind of anthology would you prefer? Like, would you like it so that the characters' individual actions, even though separate, eventually contributed to like a bigger picture? Or would you just prefer it if it was like, here's this character's life in this universe, here's somebody completely unrelated, and they don't, like, there's no bigger picture? Which one would you prefer? I'm just asking.
That's not possible. My sister made this for me.
What?
It's like I'm watching in a theater and I could just look around.
Power is psychokinesis too. Do you think you might be having realistic dreams?
Dreams? I can't really say.
A mix of both.
I was a kid at the time, and my memory is a bit hazy.
I mean, that's essentially...
I've always had strange dreams.
Marvel Cinematic Universe is a good mix of both. There's like the really big like crossover events, and then there's all like self-contained stories that
I thought my dreams
make
were-
minimal contributions to the big picture, but not just like huge.
I thought that since you also have psychokinesis, maybe you had realistic dreams.
No, I didn't play CV64 tonight. I've just been playing Scarlet Nexus here, which would be great if we could actually play it, but 90% of this game is just still image cutscenes, so there's that.
I see.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was a weird thing to bring up.
It's fine.
Well, we found the fountain pen. So
I mean, the non-connection could be the meaning.
Thank you.
Like, for example, in the Walking Dead universe, you could take like a slice of life of different people and show like,
that was a thing.
here's how people in Europe are doing, here's how people in India are doing, here's how people in America are doing. And even though they don't really contribute to a greater narrative, the greater narrative in essence becomes, here's a different look at different people surviving across the world, I guess. So that's one way you could do it. Do you like Forged and Fire, the blacksmithing show? That sounds like a phishing attempt to get my password answers, but I've never seen the show. Was it hard for you to jump from console to PC for a game you've played on console first? I generally don't do that unless it's like a game I played on console a long time ago and now I can get it on PC and like mod it like Skyrim or Dark Souls. And it's, as long as the controls work, it's fine. I don't mind at all. I bought Tekken on PC because they said if you want to play with the best, play on PC. And I found that to be true for sure. There's some killers on PC for sure. Look at this slouch. It's horrible posture. Yes, I would actually like to play the game. Phase 2. Oh, that's another thing I learned. Like you joke. Maybe you joke. That's another thing I learned at KIT. It's like I always, like I'm the older fighting game generation guy. So when I was growing up, your average casual players were on pad, and then your hardcore hobby enthusiast people were on stick, right? And then we started to hear about this mix box thing throughout the ages. And I was still under the impression that that was kind of a niche thing. But I will say that I saw, I don't want to say the majority, but a large percentage of players, like not even top level tournament people, just like casuals, like lower pool level people, were playing on hitboxes and mix boxes. So I definitely think, you know, Main Man got this right when he was like, Tekken is not balanced for this. And I don't think he was crapping on those people that use hitbox and mixbox. It was like, why would you not? When you can get on the mixbox, spend some time practicing, and have a perfect Electric Wind Godfist after a week or so, versus these people who try to do it on stick for months and months, and they still miss it from time to time. It's like, why would you when you can do that? So I definitely think that's, I don't want to say the way of the future, because I don't think sticks will ever go away, but it is definitely a huge thing. I didn't realize how big Mixbox was getting. He was right about this. His basic argument, in my lowly Tekken opinion, was that mechanics like Electric Wind Godfist and other just frame input things were designed with the idea of someone playing on a pad or a stick. So when you're playing on those two things, it becomes very difficult to do that consistently. You have to put a lot of time in to do it. So perhaps when they designed the game around these mechanics, it was with the thought that this will either be a reward for very tight execution or something that only the highest level masters. So it's okay. But now with Hitbox and Mixbox, it's like everybody can learn those techniques. I won't say just free, but they can learn them a lot easier. And the game isn't really balanced around that. Now, does that mean that Tekken is broken because people can get a Mixbox and go EFWG? No, of course not. But I do think it bears revisiting as we go forward, like with Tekken 8 and that kind of stuff, to say, should the reward for this be quite so big when people can just Mixbox it? You know, maybe make EFWGs actually whiff punishable. Wouldn't that be funny if you could actually whiff punish those? Imagine that. Oh, people crap on Main Man, and he's had some dumb takes throughout the years. I generally like Main Man. I don't have too much a problem with him. I consider Main Man like a Tekken player for the rest of us. Because he's not really a top tier tournament player. I think he's been to EVO and he did fairly well. But you know, he's not out there fighting Anakin in JDCR every week. He's mainly an online player. And so I think it's good that those players get a voice, because that's the majority of people playing Tekken right now is online. Too many times today, I don't know, like a lot of times he just makes really solid points, like he really does. And he is willing to say things that you can't go into the Tekken Discords and say without getting called a scrub, even though they might technically be true. Like he's all the time talking about how people come in with scrub questions or they think a mechanic isn't fun. And so the community's first answer is just, oh, just learn how to beat it. You're a scrub. You're a loser. You just haven't grinded. You haven't done practice mode. Well, maybe, but you know, is that the way to treat people? Probably not. It's super salty game, yeah. One of my favorite points he made was about how, he's made several, but one of which was, like, let's say, who in this chat doesn't play Tekken? I don't know, where is I don't know. Let's just say, like, Music Box 76, the Castlevania speedrunner who was supposed to be here last week. Let's say she came to the channel and saw Tekken. Mystic Knight, yeah, you're not a Tekken player. So let's say you saw Tekken, you're like, oh, this is really cool, I want to try it out. And so you boot up Tekken, and let's say you want to play, heck, I don't know. Let's say you settle on, like, somebody give me a character. Base roster character. King. We'll just say you pick up King, right? You pick up King. And you maybe you're a WWE fan, so you pick up King, and so you're playing King, and you think you're doing all right, Treasure Battle and all that. We don't need more Paul players, Fringo. Don't let me hear you say that again. But Paul, yeah, Paul is a common choice, beginner-friendly character. But heck, it could even be somebody complicated like Lee. Let's say you pick whatever character it is, and you play Treasure Battle, and you get up to, like, Mighty Ruler, and you're like, oh, you know, I'm pretty good. I'm going to go online. Just get smashed, you know, absolutely destroyed, like I still get destroyed. And so you go to Tekken Reddit, or you go to Tekken Discord, or whatever, and you say, hey guys, I just picked up Tekken, just bought the game, I'm playing as King, having a hard time online, what should I do? And people are going to go and be like, you need to go and watch Little Majin, and he will tell you how to play. And people will be like, oh, you're playing Brian? You need to go watch Nee and Evo, you know, 2017 when he went against JDCR, and that's how you play Brian. And somebody's going to go watch that pro match, and they're going to think, okay, he kind of pokes, and he uses these short little moves, and he's memorized a combo or two. I've already done that. And you're going to go back to a match, but your opponent is not going to play like that at the rank you're at. They're going to come screaming at you like a deranged person with a box cutter. You know, just, ah! It's not going to be this very smooth, calculated, like backdashing game that you see at Evo Finals. It's not going to be that. It's going to be a crazy man down at the pier with a box cutter running at you screaming. That is what lower ranks of Tekken are like. And you're going to die because you have no idea what to do. All those like little pokey moves and things that you thought you learned from watching that, useless. You're not going to be able to pressure this guy into down forward 1 to trick him into eating a down 3 mix-up when he's just running at you, you know, spamming Hell Sweep or whatever it is. And so we kind of forget that newbies, like, they need to learn in levels, right? You got to learn to play the game that you're in at that moment. And so, like, one of my favorite Lee tools, there's a guide. It's called Written Lee Guide for Lee at all levels. And the great thing about that is it teaches you some green rank strats. And then it says, use these strats in green ranks. And then for the yellow, it's like, this is going to stop working. Here's what you need to do to make that work again. And then it has advanced strats. And it's like, okay, now this is going to stop working, which means you got to add in this, and you kind of build a game plan, right? It's not just, oh, go watch some of the best players in the world playing a championship match and copy them, because that's not going to work for where you are. So we don't do a good job in the Tekken community of encouraging people where they are at. We just tell them, go look at Nee, and if you're not Nee, you're trash, and you can't have an opinion at the game. And that's like the worst thing in the world. I think you can have any opinion about Tekken or a move that you want as long as you're willing to change it in response to new data, you know, and you may reject the data and that's fine, but you should at least be willing to listen, right? Yeah, my 24 frame high should always have landed. That's exactly right. But that's my Tekken rant for today. So hats off to Main Man for saying stuff like that and being willing to say it. Like I said, don't always agree with his takes, not 100% of the time, but occasionally he will drop a kind of a pearl of wisdom, just like a little angel's kiss, you know. Huff paint, press buttons, back turn, and flee. You know, they say if you aren't suiciding yourself at least one round out of the 3, you're not a true Yoshimitsu player. You got to troll hard as Yoshi. You know, you got to go all in with the troll. Y on the party screen, directing your attack. Never attack, only evade and heal. So this is like Final Fantasy XI's Gambit, or 12's Gambit system, essentially is what this is. I just want to cut up some stuff with my neon purple sword. Is that so much to ask?
Even if you don't need it, being invisible is fun.
Oh, they're going to teach me a new power. I'm just waiting for the actual game to start. It's never going to start, guys. A plus X. Wait, there are A plus X special attacks in this?
Ooh, it's time for my power, Yuito.
I need your help.
All right, it looks like it lost us.
Wow, for all that charge, that did like no damage. But I guess it insta-killed him, so it's fine. I didn't want stealth sections. I just want to fight stuff.
I mean, I know they're just training visions, but the others here are always so realistic. It's not just the others. Everything here is a simulation.
Later on, we'll find out it's all real. Ah! Where the heck am I going? Maybe all you Yoshimitsu players are huffing paint, and that's you guys' problem. Or your greatest strength, actually.
Let me use your Yuito, you need my power. Water attack?
I do like that you can like borrow other team members' powers. That's kind of useful, and it's a neat concept. Daggum ball pools. I had basically like I was been in a Tekken funk lately. I've been playing very bad. So like I played a long set with Bump and Briefcase beforehand, and I was just getting killed. And so basically I just resigned myself to failure, and so the nerves kind of went out the window. I don't know. I've just been a bad Tekken funk lately. I have not been playing good. So I just kind of like accepted that, okay, I may lose, and if I do, these are some of the best players I've ever played against, so I'm not going to beat myself up over that. And when I accepted that, there are tournament jitters, of course, just because you're not necessarily on a stage, but you're being watched, and there's like stuff on the line. So I was a little nervous, but when I started having fun, I started calming down. So like by the time I had to play Case, I was really calmed down, and I was just getting into it. Like I landed a rage art, and there was some people standing behind me, and when Lee said excellent, I turned around and said excellent. You know, I was just playing the crowd. I was just having a fun time. And I think that's the best way to overcome that,
Resource nearby.
is like have fun. Like realize you're playing a fighting game. Yes, it's a tournament, but you're playing a game that you ostensibly like. So have fun. Remember to have fun. Do your best, but have fun, you know? Unless you're Cuddlecore or JDCR and you're playing to keep your sponsorship alive, you're playing for fun. So why not have some fun, you know? And when you do that, you're a lot less nervous. Or at least I was. That's what works for me. May not work. Your mileage may vary.
Hey, there's the flag. We can't get
But we definitely talked after it was over. Me and the local FGC guys talked and agreed that we would have to organize more tournaments in our area. Just because there's nothing that will prepare you for tournament jitters except doing it a bunch of times. It's a truly unique environment, and you just have to practice for it. That's the only way. It's like when Ole Miss gets ready to play Tennessee, they will pipe in the Tennessee theme song, Rocky Top, at like max volume in the practice facility. But still, nothing will prepare you for actually being there and having that hostile crowd environment. You just have to do it over and over again. expose yourself to it to get stronger. Eris has some old videos, old videos about playing in tournament that you should go watch if you want like more of a pro player perspective on that. But I understood a lot more of what he meant after I actually went to one and saw it and saw the level of competition. So that alone was worth it, just to see that. What is it wanting me to do here? Guess I have to go around.
I think there's something over there.
You don't say. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep having fun. Hopefully we will be able to organize and stream some locals. That would be cool. Tekken is such an old man's game. It's hard to get new players. I get jitters when I play the first few matches with this guy. The same with a couple of my other friends. Ick doesn't give me jitters since I play with him a lot and we have a good time. I think it's because I'm excited. I really want to show how much I've improved. I see Lee and my other friends as mentors and Ick is my rival. I mean, heck, you guys are probably better than me now because you've spent so much time playing each other and labbing and all that kind of stuff. I think that definitely helped that next to last tournament match was against Briefcase. But I totally expected to lose still because he had my number like all morning. Like we played a long set before the tournament started. Like tournament started at 4 and we played from like maybe 2:30 to 4 or something like that. Best I can remember, maybe a little less, but we did play a long set. And he was just beating me like up and down the arena. I switched to Cooney, I couldn't do anything. I switched to Lee, still couldn't really do anything against his Devil Jin. All these tutorials, I just want to play the game.
Don't get caught.
Here, we'll flex on him.
Looks like I got stronger again.
Good for you, kid. Damn. This shock status is just like the one in Imagine. Dang it. I just love the satisfying feeling of throwing a steel girder into a flying electrical bird. The flying enemies are definitely my least favorite in this thus far. Very annoying.
Don't get cocky.
At this rate,
Darn my depth perception.
This is pretty rare.
Oh, that's very kind. And you have improved a lot, to be fair. You have improved a lot, and that's a good thing. I'm not saying that like as a, haha, I got you. All you can do, all any of us can hope to do is improve, so that's the way to be. That's a good attitude to have. Wait till you see my new character I picked up, too. The heck do I need to be going? this way, apparently. No, it is not, but I actually do know a little bit of Lucky Chloe. Like the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 months the game was out, I subbed Lucky Chloe. She was my sub. So, I know a little bit of Lucky Chloe shenanigans. Mainly just the basics, like block her rage art low and low parry the what is it, the stupid high low infinite. Just low parry that crap. When she goes into back turns, you better hold block or you're going to eat 80% of your health. You know, standard stuff. Are you ready? Lucky Chloe, desta. She's very much one of those Tekken 7 characters that has no reason to exist, and that I don't know if they will be back. Like, I think she might bite the bullet. One of the kit tournament organizers, it was a lady, I never got her name, but she was like helping organize, I think, so she didn't get to like play or compete. She was a Lucky Chloe main. And a couple of guys were sitting around having a debate about whose character was worse, because that's what you do. And she dropped some Lucky Chloe frame knowledge on us that we didn't know about.
Looks like the enemy dropped something rare.
Have you guys ever watched Buff Pro, who guest stars on a lot of Cinnamon Toast Ken's videos?
Dictating every little move. Just get going.
I probably considered him one of my first like Tekken 7 rivals, because that guy would beat me. Like I went over to his cousin's house and he showed up and he was like the only one that could beat me. And then we did some local tournaments and he put me out of both of them. And so that was one of the people that really inspired me to play better. And the last time I faced him in tournament, I put him out. And so that was satisfying, not on like some sort of revenge level, but just satisfying that I had gotten better and learned like, okay, this is what this guy likes to do. This is how he uses this character. Here's how you beat it. And I'll never forget like it's like football games. One play can be super critical and can just like tell the tale of the whole game. And so like the first time we had played, he harassed me with that Kazuya. I call it the Hokuto no Ken kick. It's like that plus on block high flying kick. He had harassed me with that to no end. Just like putting pressure on me and locking me down. Didn't know what to do against it. And so like before that last tournament, I labbed that move out hard and I labbed out like what he was doing as best as I could remember. And I'll never forget during that match, it was me versus him. He's a cocky guy. He thought he was going to beat me again. And so, I beat him once, and so he switches to Kazuya. So, that's kind of like his ace. It's coming out. And during that match, I freaking read it. I freaking read the move, man. Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to space appropriately and bait him into doing this so that I can sidestep it and launch punish him. And it was kind of like once I did that, it changed the whole flow of the match. It worked to perfection. And so that was one of those moments. It's like, the hard work paid off. Because I got it just the right range, waited a split second, and sidestepped. He went sailing by, launch punish, won the match. So that was super cool. And that was a super defining moment to be better than a rival. These days I have Briefcase and 16-bit Bump, who are like lab monsters. And so they really challenge me to be better. And Bump is an extremely patient player. I am not. So he usually gets the better of me, so I'm learning a ton from, playing matches against him and being beaten by him. And Case, he forces me to come up with new strategies because he loves to go to the lab, see like, okay, how did I lose? What beat me? How can I make it better? And so the really cool thing about our locals is that, we show up one week and I'll dominate. Next week, you know, one of them will dominate, and so we go hit the lab and we come back and the cycle repeats, and so we all get better that way. So it's super nice. I wish we could get some tournaments going, because we could do a lot with some actual tournaments in our area. Would you really play PSN if we tip? I mean, not tonight, I can't, but if you guys just really want to see me play something on PSN, I think I have the hardware for it. The audio might lag because my capture card's kind of cheap, but we could probably work that out in the future if you guys just really want to see like Bloodborne or Tekken or something. If you had free creative control of Tekken's story, would you make the gameplay or the story better? Both. You know, why not both? Tekken's story is kind of a mess, honestly, but it's not bad for a fighting game. Like fighting game level, it's okay. It does its job well enough. I do think that the story has to play a bigger role in Tekken 8, or they're going to lose a lot of the casuals that they picked up with this generation. Of course, Tekken 7 is kind of this weird anomaly anyway, so I don't know if that statement will hold water. But, I mean, you've seen my video. Those are literally the things I would change about Tekken for Tekken 8. So, yeah, why not both? Probably, yeah. Sidesteps behind you. Nothing personnel. I mean, it kind of was like that. I was like, okay, every time I play this dude's Kazuya, if I'm at about range, we'll say range 2 to 3, he likes to pressure with this kick into a mix-up because he's going to do that to frame lock me, and then I have to guess low or high, right? So I'm like, okay, why not just go to the range, sidestep, and let the kick fly right by? And so it did. And I was like, oh, here he is. Let me launch, punish him. And I remember winning that match 2-0. And I just looked around and everybody was kind of stunned because this guy had always cleaned up at tournaments and, you know, he's out. He's, you know, get out of here. Beat it, Buff Pro, you're done. Buff Pro, if you're watching, let's rematch sometime. It would be good to rematch you. I know you moved, but we both got Steam, so hit me up. Jaime with the big $10. I still don't feel worthy of such, but I do appreciate it greatly. Thank you so much. Hopefully Namco will not claim the title screen music in this video and take it all. I think they do that if your video gets claimed. I don't know. I really think I need to switch to like Patreon or something for these live streams because Mortal Kombat be stealing money. Or Dan Forden does, rather. I had to learn camping in Tekken as well. It's hard to admit your own mental walls making you lose. Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of Tekken is like, this is beating me. Why is it beating me? What do I do differently? But the cool thing about it is you can turn a weakness into a strength, right? Just like with the flying kick, which was killing me. I was like, okay, I know he's going to use this to try to kill me. How do I turn it against him? And it's like I bait it and sidestep. Won the match because, you know, at that point, he didn't know what to threaten me with anymore. It's amazing how a good, well-executed block or strategy like that can just change a whole match. I recall early in the days of Tekken 7 playing this really good Steve player online, and he had this gimmick. I don't remember what the gimmick was, but I just accidentally blocked it, like accidentally. Like, this is back when I sucked at Tekken 7. Accidentally somehow blocked it twice, and like he became afraid to do it, and so the whole match turned because like, oh, I just took away his best tool. That was all he had. And really that was kind of my weakness I discovered in Kit with that Vandy player, is he just like sat there, watched what I like to do, and then turned it against me. So what I have to do is develop more mix-up strategies and learn to swap my playstyle on the fly. And that was an invaluable, like that alone was worth going to Kit for and learning. So, there's that. No, I actually the Jet Set Radio video did not get claimed because Sega is not that guy. So thanks a lot, Sega. Speaking of Sega and its bad PC ports, I downloaded Sonic Adventure 2 for PC, so we're probably going to check that out next week. That's going to be fun. Because it's going to be like, is that game as good as I remember it being? And my guess is going to be no, it is not. Man, he just smacked that dude with a lamppost. That's what I'm talking about. But no, I got to keep the Jet Set Radio tips, so much appreciated.
Getting wet limits your mobility, so be careful.
That was fun. The more I think about Jet Set Radio, I was thinking about this in the car a few days after I played that on stream. Because I was wondering, like, was I too harsh on that game? Was it just like my inexperience? And I kind of arrived at this conclusion that, like, Jet Set Radio is to some people what Castlevania 64 is for me. A flawed game that can ultimately be mastered. That a lot of people grew up playing and therefore mastered. So it's like remembered fondly. I think that's the kind of the place I arrived at. Like, if I had played that game, like when it first came out, when I was, you know, hanging out on Friday night, Mom bought pizza and the boys were over.
Nice first strike.
I think I really would have liked that game a lot more.
Everything you've got.
But just going in cold turkey, it was kind of hard. The music was bopping though. I downloaded some of the tracks to listen to when I drove to Kit. Because it was legit. The music is good and challenging. Wait, the music is good and challenging, or the music is good and the game was challenging? Like, what happens if the music is challenging? Is that like Mansion Basement from Resident Evil Director's Cut challenging?
Looks like there's a resource nearby.
Yeah, I do not like Noctis either. He's like the definition of much of what is wrong with Tekken 7, in my opinion. And also Final Fantasy 15 was a dumpster fire, so that too. Gosh, that is such a bad Final Fantasy. Why did I finish that game? Why'd you let me do that? Where the heck am I supposed to be going? In the other direction. I did, yeah. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm one of those guys that hasn't completely given up on Final Fantasy, even though I think I should at this point. Squaresoft has clearly, like, just decided arbitrarily that people don't like turn-based RPGs anymore. Even though when they keep re-releasing Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger, people keep buying it. And they're like, huh, these games keep selling. I don't understand why. Anyway, let's make an action RPG.
So trivial.
What is?
Your power status is low and you fight like an amateur. Why would Captain Seto or even Major General Karin take an interest in someone?
This guy.
Whoa there, Shiden. Did you ever stop to think that maybe this is why you weren't chosen to be the leader?
And this guy coming in pouring the water on him.
It's not that I want to be the leader. I just don't want to follow orders from someone inferior to me.
This the absolute state of this guy.
Shut up, you adult. Yuito, keep your eyes open up ahead. If I were the leader, I would be waiting in a blind spot near the finish line.
What do you mean?
In other words, instead of looking around for the flag, it would be more efficient to steal the flag right near the...
Oh, I see.
Hold up, we got company. It's Kasane.
Not Kasane.
That is so like Kasane.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 15. The literature's out there. You can go look it up. They because of the development cycle was such an absolute train wreck. A lot of stuff got cut and moved around and moved to DLC and just dropped entirely. Like, there are so many plot threads in that game that just went nowhere, even though they had a lot of potential. The villain just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like you said, the story ends abruptly. The ending is kind of dumb. It's just all... The animation scenes in the whole game now. Final Fantasy stories are good. If you've ever played Radiata stories, I have not. If I remember correctly, Final Fantasy 16 that's in the works is going to be like another action RPG based game. And I assume that it's going to end up being just like Final Fantasy 7 Remake, which I didn't even finish. It was so boring.
Sorry, but I've got my hands full here. Take care of Kasane, team leader. Same here. I can't help. You're the team leader, so figure it out.
Well, this wasn't fun at all.
Whoa, Kasane.
She's good.
You really are amazing.
Damn it.
Hey, it's just as they...
I don't know if I was supposed to lose that fight or the tutorial was just so obtuse I didn't do it right.
Sugumi and your team may have had some coordination issues.
If I get a chance to kill or spare her later, I'll make sure to kill her.
Oh,
That'll make up for it.
okay.
You're strange.
I think
Protagonist has the personality of a wet paper towel.
Congratulations on Kaito. You're your own man now that we should invite
Look, Ma, I'm a real boy.
dinner together sometime. I'll come.
What is it?
I gotta...
Oh.
Well, I guess it's time to call it a day.
You're acting strange, Kagura.
What?
Don't you hate...
Well, I thought it would be a good...
I hate
idea.
pointless exposition
There's
dumps.
some real cute...
And you...
Shh. I just wanted to team up with the new guy.
I must have gone to Sumeragi Tomb at some point before training. I should go there again. Maybe I'll remember something.
The Square Enix team just knows that they can sell anything if they animate it well and give it similarities. I don't know, but they've still got 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and that's their problem. I just wish they would either be RPG or just go full action. You know, it's okay. You could still do the pretty graphics and the anime flowy hair and be action. You could still do that. You know, it always made me chuckle to that Joker from Persona 5 was added to Smash. They chose the character whose sole defining characteristic was that he has no personality. Isn't that the truth? I guess the flip side to that is it made him easier to bring over because they didn't have to, I don't know, go out and find a voice actor or anything. They could just like steal some lines from 5. There's already some question marks up there, so that means I still have more tutorials in my future. Enhance again. Yeah, that is the downside of game development. And like, you know, people just, like for me, even amateur sitting here tearing into Final Fantasy 15, but you're right, people did spend like 10 years of their life working on it. And then for it to end up in that state, I'm not in the industry, so I don't know. Maybe that's just something you kind of learn to deal with in the end. Or maybe those people really do have a lot of regrets about their games in that way. I don't know. This is the... I don't know. I'm sure there is regret, but hopefully they just kind of learn that it goes with the territory. Which is kind of, anytime you make something and put it out there in front of people, you subject yourself to heavy criticism.
Why did I end up here?
Especially here in the days of the internet.
Got here at all. I really should talk to Kaito about it. Yuito, deployment orders. We confirmed a large pack of others in an abandoned subway.
Not the others.
Over there, right away. Okay, got it. And Nagi? He's already on his way. Thanks. I'll be right on his heels.
Well, so much for free roaming.
Kaito is going to have to wait.
Ah, Daikatana and Duke Nukem forever.
Looks like someone is in trouble near you. You might want to find them and talk to them.
I don't and I won't. How's that? Oh, you didn't miss them. It didn't happen. There was no stream. Yeah, I was disappointed about how the whole thing shaked out. I don't know if we'll be able to make that happen just because everybody's schedule is so different. If anything, I could get up with Music Box and see if she'd be willing to drop by. And the idea was I had reached out to several CV64 speedrunners, and we had gotten, I think he still has a world record in at least one of the categories, Tidarium, and then Music Box, who is the well-established runner, the mod of the LOD community Discord, and one more, and I'm sorry for the life of me, other person, I can't remember the other one that was supposed to come. But the idea was that they were all going to drop by and showcase like their favorite speed run of the game, and you know, we would all be in Discord like commentating and making suggestions. I don't know who am I to give them suggestions on how to speed run, but you know what I mean. It was going to be a fun time. And hopefully we'll be able to get that going again. I think it might have been a little too ambitious to try to get 3 of them together like that. So what I may do is just start small and see if maybe like Music Box or somebody wants to drop by. But Music Box runs an unusual category called Carry No Major Glitches. Or she used to. I don't know if she's still doing it these days. But it's kind of like the common man's Castlevania 64 speedrun. You don't have to do all those nasty run-killing tricks like early library and act tree skip.
What's the extinction belt? Nagi.
Yes, sir. It's an anomaly that's believed to be...
Exactly. It accumulated near the Earth's... Others are born inside it and have been observed descending to the Earth's surface. So don't go near areas where the belt is thick.
This whole game is just like a big bucket that says exposition, and it's just like, oh.
If that happens, Watcher's telepathy will be our only means of communication.
So obviously that's going to happen, and they're going to introduce me to some other mechanic.
So that's the deal.
Understood.
This will be a joint operation between the 7th and 8th.
I have no idea who these people are.
Joint operation. I want you all to refrain.
What?
Me, Nagi, and Hanabi. Team 2 will be Kagero, Tsugumi, and Yuito. Seto platoon will head to...
Understood.
Oh my gosh, another new mechanic. Why? Freaking Dark Souls had less mechanics than this to learn. It's like you probably don't even understand what poise is until 6 hours in, or longer.
I'm looking forward to it.
Meanwhile, this game is just constantly throwing out gauges and meters and mechanics and abilities and lore. I don't even care. I'm gonna throw a bunch of stuff at this thing and then insta-kill it. Rather than do them all at once, you could try to get them one at a time. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. And the big hang-up was one of the guys kept having to work. See, all those guys stream on Twitch. They don't ever stream YouTube, so they're not familiar with my schedule and when I stream. And so I guess one guy didn't realize it was like going to be at the same time every time. And I was like, no, it's still, you know, Mondays at 9, but whatever. And the music box was sick, so she had a cold, so she didn't feel like coming on. So I think I'll probably start with her just because she's generally the easiest to get a hold of. And she can tell some interesting stories about like, I did a podcast episode with her a long time ago and asked about how she got into Castlevania speedrunning. And her parents found the game in a dumpster and gave it to her. And so if that's not the best CV64 origin story, I don't know what is. Like, that's amazing. Like, you found this game in a dumpster. It was like, you know, I should speedrun this. This is good. I have no idea what to do with any of the stuff the enemies are dropping.
Watch out for electric attacks. You won't be able to move if you're electrified.
Let's keep this up.
Oh no, I've been shock statused.
This rate. That was close.
What is it, a late growth spurt?
Come on.
It burrowed into the ground, but it should show up if you become invisible.
What does me becoming invisible have to do with making this show up?
Finish it off.
Check this out.
It lost us.
Here we go.
Hyper beam.
That attack worked. There must be a weak spot.
Here we go. That's gonna leave a mark.
The game does feel a lot like Dark Souls in that, like, if you attack more than 2 or 3 times, a lot of enemies will just tank the 3rd hit and retaliate. It creates a slight bit of dissonance as to whether this game wants to be a full-fledged hack and slash or it wants to be more strategic. No, it's not. I'll just heal. What drink? You outlet the best. Oh, look, an item I can't get and don't care to.
So this is the subway.
Make a little stream series out of Castlevania speedrunning guest. I would love to do that, yeah. Most of them are super cool people too, so I really wanted to... They just tend to stick to Twitch, so I would like to showcase their talent here on YouTube.
Nice job.
Keep this up.
I've only played the first and the second Pikmin. I finished the first one with the best ending, and I never finished the second one.
Notice me doing what? You know, ramming it into them.
Focus.
What is this dude doing? Hey, that's the thing from the cover art.
So this is brain drive. It feels like
Use effects such as attack speed, reduce kinetic gauge consumption, brain damage.
Keep this up.
If for anybody who's counting in the chat, that's like 100 different mechanics. And we're less than 3 hours in.
looks like the enemy dropped something rare.
Maybe I've grown.
Captain, does the extinction belt usually come down lower than the stratosphere? No, it's usually seen higher. It's pretty rare for it to be this low. Let's be ready.
Wonder what the level cap in this is. Well, I'm going to leave the stream up and continue ruining the economy. I've taken a long enough break. I've only farmed up 100 mils so far. Wreck would be disappointing in me. What are you farming money for, or Maka for, rather? Are you trying to buy a Halo?
Everything in the subway looks the same. Try not to get turned
I miss Wreck. I wish he got to play more.
Watch the enemy.
Hey, Sam! Give it everything you've got!
Oh, you're talking about the Halloween event. Okay.
That was impressive.
Yeah, loops. The loop market has been kind of inflated lately. Now I see what you mean by ruining the economy. I didn't really play any Imagine this weekend. I downloaded a Dark Souls mod that puts the weapons from Halo in the game.
Apparently bias has a function to it.
And my daughter's been sick, so I spent pretty much the whole weekend taking care of her and playing Dark Souls, so I didn't really get on to farm. If I did, though, I would probably just like get a bunch of loops and save them for like 3 months from now, where everybody's going to be desperate, and then sell them. I want to try that so bad. I did see you playing some Morrowind. I guess that explains why you were playing Morrowind. Yeah, I guess you could buy some to flip later too. What I want more than anything is Masakados to... I still want Agent of God Metatron, but it's like nobody does Diaz, and if they're doing it, it's when I'm working and not able to participate. I miss Yuna. That was our Clan Diaz guy. He needs to come back. The Lady Dimitrescu. Haruka's in this game? Sweet. I wonder if this game ever opens up later and like it's just you being assigned missions and picking a team, and this section is like just to kind of show you what your options are, kind of thing. I would hope so. I can hit it.
This is pretty rare.
Someone's coming this way.
Captain Seto.
Naomi, we got a request for reinforcements from Haruka.
Others have descended on Point Alpha. The additional units scheduled to arrive were nowhere to be seen, so acting could... 3 others attacking from 12 o'clock. The enemy will flank...
What?
My power is...
It's true. Captain, the others are gathering at Point Alpha.
Wow.
Mary Sue.
Naomi, connect to SA. Team,
Sus.
clean up these others. Take them down while...
Understood.
So your power lets you see the future, Dave? Can you choose when to look?
Yes, but I can only see a little ahead.
That's an amazing power.
I'm happy to hear you say that.
Watch out for the light.
There's so many characters in this game. I've lost all I don't know what you would call it, but like all sense of like even trying to keep track of all of them.
It's all right, Naomi. Kasane is the top cadet. Of course, you know that since you're her sister.
She's the top researcher in her field.
Thank you for reassuring me.
Stop walking into the beam, moron. That's only slightly broken that you can just go invisible and one-shot these guys.
Scary seeing how much I evolve.
And see, this is the action's picking up and this game gets better. When I have to go sit at HQ and just like go on not dates with like my childhood best friend, the game goes down. Kate Mystery says howdy. Howdy, Kate Mystery. I'm doing my best. I'm animating it up here. You know, I don't have to hold this game's anime aesthetic against it. It's a pretty solid little combat game.
It's Kyoko Platoon.
Of course, Kyoko Platoon.
The interference from the Extinction got
I told you we'd lose contact.
Get those communicators.
point alpha.
Captain, the ceiling is starting to crack.
Damn it! Evasive. Kyoko platoon, disperse.
Ceiling is starting to crack. My favorite line from Persona 5, I think it was where Ryuji falls down and he says his butt has a crack in it. And I think it's Makoto says, "Isn't it supposed to though?" It's just like such a cheap joke with the delivery. Isn't it supposed to though?
Watch out! Get out of the way!
Oh, and these cheap cutscenes because they were too lazy to animate them.
Thank you. You saved me.
Is everyone all right?
Everybody's fine as far as I know because there's no cutscene here.
Sagumi Nazar reporting in.
There are two more nearby.
Yuito,
Nagi, where are you right now?
next to the rubble.
What's wrong?
Others are.
Naomi!
This is bad.
I'll clear the rubble.
I'll help.
They should have just had you fight monsters during this scene and like had all this crap on the comm system. Because you would get the same effect a lot better if you were like having trouble fighting all these enemies and then like your comrades are screaming for help. I think that'd be a lot more effective than this, whatever this slideshow here is.
I hope Kasane is okay. I think Hanabi is with Captain Seto, but I'm worried about what happened to Kagero.
Kagero can take care of himself. More importantly, we need to focus on the enemy in front of us.
You're right. Let's take care of these guys first.
Let's take care of these guys first. Just what I need to see. Starwolf.
All right.
Oh, I hit dodge, whatever. Get slammed.
Use my power.
That attack worked. That must be a weak spot.
Ow. What is this? I want that. Shiny yellow thing.
Come on. Let's keep this up. Nagi. Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Naomi.
I have not played Wild Arms. Is that a RPG or is that something else?
I'm heading to.
I've heard of it, I've just never played it. No, this game came out like 3 months ago. It's not old. It's just lazy.
Naomi! Watch out! What is...
Oh no, character I don't know anything about got shot.
Naomi? What's wrong? Naomi?
That happened to a lot of that stuff that came out in the same time as the PlayStation, or you know, like the royal trio there of 7, 8, and 9 on PlayStation. I do love a hilarious translation, so I'll have to check it out. Super Mario RPG, it is the only one just for me. That dude's just gonna run up and like block that thing with his arm.
Anyone that can move, lend a hand.
Yeah, I'm not really. She looks like something out of Silent Hill. An other appeared. Yeah, I'd say so.
Naomi.
Once you decide to fight, don't lose focus. A second's hesitation can mean death. Got it? Yes.
More!
I love dropping a shipping container on Naomi Randall. Yeah, I'm just gonna back up here. Ow. I guess I should have watched the tutorial about clairvoyance because I don't really know how it helps in battle. The enemy designs are really unique, I will give them that. They're extraordinarily unique. I feel like there's going to be some sort of like narrative payoff at the end to explain like why they look the way they do.
Attacks come from the ground too. Watch your feet. Don't let your guard down. I'm so confused. How is Naomi an other? What happened? Can't she hear us anymore?
Oh, was that the weak point there? This thing's got a lot of daggum health, I know that. It's like some Guild Wars 2 break bar level of enemy health here. Didn't see that coming. Imagine if I hadn't boosted my attack earlier. Be doing even less damage than we already are. Oh, whatever. Speaking of the Castlevania Devil, Ty2358, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. Man, stream's going good. And yeah, Jaime, I do think this will probably take us to the end of the stream. What brings you by these parts, Ty? Hold a while. We need like more power. Yep, not falling for that. Even if you dodge, she jumps too far away to... Dang it. Stupid low health thing is really annoying. Heck, maybe you're supposed to lose this battle. Certainly feels like it just because the health bar is so huge. Yeah, we're dead. Late night YouTube watches saw you on my front page, so I had to say hi. Well, hello. I'm guessing it doesn't show you often. You stream often. Every Monday night from 9 to midnight Central Time. I'm more of a recorded video guy, but this streaming thing has been fun. I've been streaming about a year now, maybe 6 months or so, I don't know. But I've really enjoyed it, so I've been doing more of it. I'm bad. I like this game. It's just got a little bit too much exposition and too many mechanics, if that makes sense. I just feel like you're constantly stopping to be shown, like a handheld something. But when it lets you actually play, it's fun.
Once you decide to fight, don't lose focus. A second's hesitation can mean death. Got it? Yes.
Ty, are you playing CV64 these days, or are you mainly working on your Shining Force these days? I just got to be a little more conservative, I think, with my attack strategy this time to outlast. I don't know if that's a weak spot so much as just getting a shipping container jammed in your backside. I mean, yeah, I consider every Monday a lot, but yeah, in the grand scheme of streaming, it's not a lot. But yeah, every Monday, 9 to 12. Kind of with like work, life, and family, it's the only time I have is on Monday nights. I do have some time coming up, time off for the holidays, where my family will be at work, that I will be here. So I may do some special streams during then. But for the most part, you can catch me here Mondays, 9 to 12. Yeah, this whole situation escalated rather quickly. Oh, okay. So hitting the weak spot brings down the little break bar, I guess you would call it, to use a Guild Wars 2 term. Too bad I can't see anything. Where'd it go? That low health noise is extremely annoying. A lot of Shining Force. I was going to do CV64 for October. I just really wasn't feeling it. It's not as fun when you're the only one playing the game. I streamed, I did carry hard mode for, for the heck of it a few weeks ago. And I was trying to get a stream going. I don't know if Music Box reached out. I was trying to get a stream with like her and the other Ty, and she may have reached out for you. I don't remember. And just like one Monday night, have you guys on and like showcase your favorite runs. It never happened. I couldn't get everybody together. I think Music Box was sick and Tidarium had to work, and so the whole thing just went bleh. Didn't work out. But hey, you know when I stream, so anytime you want to come on and do some runs, the majority of my subscriber base comes from that game, so they would be more than happy to stop by and watch you play.
I need to support the injured.
Well, that was kind of anticlimactic, but okay. You can, Jaime. You have to basically go to your YouTube studio and look at your analytics, and you can tell if like people subscribed off a certain video or not.
Use my power?
Pay attention.
Oh, I dodged. Whatever. I've noticed that the music in this fight like goes faster, closer to the end. That's a really nice effect, and kind of helps sell the.
I need to support the injured.
No, we must attack. Finish her. There we go. We got it.
What are you
Traitors.
This other is Naomi.
transfer power. You need strong abilities to move something that size.
I'm still going to work it out, Ty. We'll do something. I may reach out to you or some of the others and just see. I may do like a Monday night showcase series. But basically the only run I ever do when I do LOD speed runs is Henry. And I would like to get some different folks on that do different runs. Like I was going to get Music Box to do no major glitches. I could probably get you to do Carrie or Reinhardt, depending on what you're playing. We could get Drewski to do some. And just like maybe instead of getting everybody together all at once, because that's kind of hard, like do a runner showcase. And like, okay, this Monday, this person's going to show us their favorite run and we'll all do commentate on it and that kind of thing. I don't know. I'll figure something out and post it in the Discord.
But we have to do something. Sorry, I know now's not the time to panic. But what do we do?
I will send you a message tomorrow. How about it? I'll send you a message tomorrow with just kind of some details. And we'll plan it like a week in advance and we'll do something. So I know you're originally a carry guy, but we could do some Reinhardt or whatever you want to do. But seriously, like I've got a lot of people that get really excited for me to play Castlevania 64. So I think it would be awesome for you guys to come on and like hey, besides this idiot me, here's somebody who actually knows what they're doing playing this game. So take a look. I'll reach out. Thank you, Ty. I'll reach out tomorrow. Yeah, if you ever want me to commentate, feel free. You know, I love to do it. There was the infamous going for a swim incident, but I love to commentate gameplay and runs, so just reach out anytime. I don't think there's any more major glitches I don't know about. There's, let's see, the biggest ones are early library and act tree skip, right? There's nothing groundbreaking that's been discovered recently that I'm missing, I don't think. Oh yeah, let me... Anybody who's watching and likes CV64 or Shining Force, go check out my man Ty. He's at Ty2358. He's also on YouTube. One of the best Castlevania 64 speedrunners there is. And I don't know anything about Shining Force, but I'd assume he's pretty darn good at that too. So do me a favor and go drop him a like or a sub. It would be greatly appreciated. And are you still world record holder for, or does Narcissa have that right now? I know you've still got something.
I'm glad you're both okay. I ran into Nagi and Sugumi, and I came after you as soon as I heard.
Heard what?
About Naomi. I'll tell you what I told them. You're not to repeat what happened.
What do you mean?
I mean just that. Also, did you happen to pick up any...
Oh.
Would you mind handing...
You have Reinhardt, that's what it is. Okay.
What is that,
Yeah, I love that there was like a Reinhardt renaissance. That's nice alliteration. And it's like everybody just started playing Reinhardt all of a sudden. That was awesome.
Yes, it's best to stay away from these sticky spots. Anyway, you two come with me.
Our favorite whippy boy. Poor Reinhardt, man. He just... Life is tough for Schneider Belmont.
Fine. If you see her, make sure to tell her not to share what happened to anyone either. Don't do anything reckless. And since there's a chance we'll have to withdraw from the front lines, it'll be a lot safer to head back to Suo.
This game has its foibles, but it definitely got a lot more interesting here at the end of the stream, unfortunately. Since it's 11:57, and sadly we have reached the end of tonight's stream.
Something's not right.
days of disquieting stagnation. That's an odd name. Anyway, guys, it's 11:58. Excuse me, the time changed. Thanks everybody for stopping by and watch me learn to anime. This game is like 3 months old, so you know I'm a big Tekken guy. A lot of the time I'm streaming Tekken 7 or doing Tekken videos or like going to Kit to play Tekken, whatever it is. And so I follow all Namco Bandai's media channels, and so they were shilling this game one day and I thought it looked pretty good, so I decided I'd try it. Bought the game, played it for maybe an hour, never played it again till now. So here it is. I think it's good. It stops and hands hold too much. I think they should give you like, I don't know, see, like we played for what, 3 hours 30 minutes. They should give you more time to play around with the mechanics instead of just constantly throwing new ones at you. Yeah, Jaime knows what's up. I got to show you guys my new character I picked up, who I've actually played before. There's your hint. I've actually played before but never did much with him. I've actually been spending some time with him. So you guys are in for a treat with that. And I just have to say, all the stuff about Lee being hard is so true. Like playing other characters, I'm like, wait, this character gets 65 damage off of this? And they don't have to while standing carry or anything like that? It's insane. What are you doing, Harada? So yeah, let me, as usual, share our Discord link. Since we're just about out of time for tonight. No limit, never expires. Generate new link. Yeah, guys, it's my bedtime. Thanks so much for stopping by. If you're not a member of the Terensu Games Discord, hop on in there. Right now, we're talking about college football, so you never really know what the discussion is going to be in there. But hop in there for memes and discussions and make suggestions. And as Jaime can attest to, sometimes I will play the game you suggest, even if it kills me, just like Jet Set Radio nearly did. So you guys take care, have fun, stay tuned for some more videos this week. I'll actually post them, hopefully, maybe. Ty, thank you for dropping by as well. I'm going to reach out tomorrow and we'll plan something for, either, if not next week's stream, a future one. But anyway, take care, guys. Have a good night.